Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Virtual Railroader Academy. Railroaders play railroads online. I'm your host, Casey, and usually at this point I'd throw it over to Nick and he'd introduce himself. But unfortunately, we are Nickless tonight because we have a special stream coming up on Friday, which we'll tell you more about later today. But tonight's a mini stream, a workshop, if you will, instead of a full-on class. Gonna be a bit of a shorter stream, and hot topic over in the official Railroads Discord last week was yard design and how to make a functional yard. And I thought this is an excellent topic to talk about. It's actually been requested by a viewer. Um, and I wanted to talk about how to make a functional yard because I did not make one. And I'm going to tell you everything that's wrong with my yard and what I would do to lay it out differently given a second go around, which is apparently going to be happening very soon with the recent news about the spline update. So, fingers crossed on that, and hopefully I'll be able to show you a better laid out yard and go through a true class on yard design and running a yard. But tonight it's a workshop, it's a mini-sode, so let's dive into it. So we're here, Hill Valley Yard, as any viewers probably familiar with. We're here a lot. It's where almost every train originates and departs from, here on the AM and W. And if you remember last week, we talked about the yard limits. It's the points that the yard sits in on the railroad, and anything's allowed to move in there with or without permission from the dispatcher. So we have our two main lines here that come on in, and our main line curves around here and up the west side of the freight depot. And you'll notice there's a ladder here that goes on up to the east side where we have some locomotive storage tracks, the departure yard, the east side of the freight depot, some more engine houses in the distance, some storage over there. We'll get to all of that. Working down the main line, we come to the arrival yard. Any inbound train comes in here. We have our caboose track, our main line next to the freight depot, our pocket track, and we have some cars stored out here for train 89 to pick up the next time it comes through. The second main going by the east side of the freight depot. And if we keep running down here, we usually don't go south, but occasionally we do. So we'll just touch on the southern end. As you can see, Rudy has his Lionel train set up over there in the distance. We have the Y, and the main line curves around down that way towards oil field, refinery, Mohonk, ironworks, yada yada yada. And over here we got the departure yards. And we have two tracks for departure yards going south. Or two run track, they're really run through tracks. They go both south and north. So these are mostly used for southbound trains. We have two tracks here for northbound trains. And then we have the spawn yard, which is mostly used for wood branch trains. And we'll get into how that's laid out. Over here we have the engine houses, and that's where engines are stored, engine servicing, and car storage. Okay, everyone with me so far out here? And finally, here in the center, we have our ready tracks. And this is where engines that are ready to get onto trains go. Cool. So let's start working the yard and just kind of talking through what everything is out here. We've got a couple trains out on the railroad right now. making their way back to Hill Valley. 602, I think, is still putting itself together at the oil field, and 502's trundling on back from the ironworks.
Speaking of, which track should 501 arrive into?
502, you are lined into the arrival yard.
Excellent. Thanks.
Now, what you want your crews to do as they're coming into the arrival yard is kind of up to you. It's dealer's choice or dispatcher's choice, yardmaster's choice, what have you. What my crews usually do is we have a yard job working the yard, putting stuff together, and we have the crews themselves, once they come in and tie down, are responsible for getting their engines away and turned, and that's usually up, and the yardmaster will usually tell them where to put that stuff. There we go. Just kind of running through what we do as stuff gets back. We have this train sitting over here in the hole. I'm mostly going to work on getting that broken up and put away. Well, the arrival yard it's probably the easiest thing to access from the main line, and I like how that works. It makes it easy to get trains in and out. It makes it easy getting trains into the yard without clogging up too much. And that's an important feature, is you don't really want to tie up your main line, because then your whole yard is kind of hosed. Nothing can move if the main line's being occupied. If your main line's not occupied, then you can actually work your yard. You can switch out trains, make up new trains. You can move engines around and get them serviced. So that's how a good functional yard should be. And however you lay it out is however it works for you. But make sure it works for you. I think everyone in here can attest that Hill Valley is not the most functional yard. None of my friends are going to call me out on that, and I appreciate it. Thanks for believing in me, guys.
Okay, yep.
Didn't sound very convincing, Squiggy. No, but it's not. I think it's okay to admit that. That you kind of need. It doesn't work right, and
There's definitely room for improvement.
Yeah, and I think we'll start figuring out why that. I think everyone watching will start figuring out why it doesn't work great as we go about switching everything out.
Why the crew of 602 had to respawn and is now heading back down to their locomotive because you got stuck in the cab.
Ouch.
Ow.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if
Luckily the train is stopped and not fouling anything.
Well, that's good. 602 is also the only thing down there right now, so that's also a positive. Once Rick or BMAC or respawned back into the game, could enlist one of theirs helps.
Well, it looks like it's moving on my screen.
What? 602?
I assume that's what this is.
Are you down at Mile Long Yard?
Big yard by
Down-
the oil field.
Yeah.
I am at the exit to the oil field.
Should have been stopped. It stopped when I left.
Nope, it's definitely still moving.
Lovely. Yay, physics bugs.
Hopefully that's going away. I hear the rumors Friday the 13th.
I did start the Lionel train while I was respawned though, so that's not running.
Would you like me to stop it?
Probably a good idea.
All right. Well, as soon as I stop rubber banding.
We're supposed to go up against the caboose, but I couldn't get out through the switch, so. Yeah, I got a squiggy. I say, look, there's squiggy.
Mm-hmm. I have a break on the caboose.
Okay.
Those viewers is our ye old favorite thing called kicking a car.
Wait, why is the caboose moving?
I don't know. It's attached to the train.
Oh,
Who is
you're on
that?
the wrong train then.
Oh. Well, I should probably stop.
I'm running.
Brakes.
I'm running past you. You're on 502. 602 is down here in the yard yet. Two different train numbers, or at least like nicknames for them.
We've started working on the timetable, vaguely, for the new railroad, and there's less conflicting numbers.
That's good.
In that there's going to be more guaranteed extras.
Okay.
And there's going to be division locals, so northern and southern division locals that serve a couple of industries with similar sized trains, but more mixed. So it's maybe like 3 cars for an industry, 2 cars for another industry, so forth. Plan's coming together slowly. Kind of have to see it in order to really figure it out. I assume that's Rick running around the yard?
Yeah, down over here.
Yeah, you wanna hop on number 13 there? Be my engineer. I'll be brakeman.
Yeah, the Heisler there.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. Why don't you come ahead, truck length to clear the switch here. Once you've hopped into the cab.
Yep.
So viewers, that was a infamous flying switch. We are kicking a car, not really a flying switch. We are a fan of flying switches and kicking cars here, though, because it makes switching a lot easier. A friend of mine recently told me they were out switching their yard, getting their historical society ready for a big opening season event in Memorial Day weekend, and they had some like 35 moves to make to get the yard arranged, and they told me that they were looking at all the moves, and they were just thinking like, oh, now if I like fly a switch here, kick that car here, that would totally be like, oh, wait a second, no, this isn't Railroads Online, I can't do that.
You could once.
You said bring it ahead, right?
Yeah, just a truck lane. Gotta clear the switch to get back into the arrival yard.
You can do anything once.
Yeah, I thought that was the funniest thing in the world.
Yep, it was.
Alright, far enough there, 13. Let's bring it back 15 to a hook.
15, alright.
I thought it was hilarious, because,
Coming back.
we're railroaders, we play this game, and I think we get a little caught up in the realism element of it, that we forget that you can't really do flying switches out in the real world anymore. The FRA kind of frowns upon that.
You can once.
Yeah, KCDC97, thanks for the follow. Welcome. Yeah, flying switches, they're great in game, they make switching faster. That's why people did them in the olden days, up until like the 80s or something like that, we were still doing flying switches. It was only outlawed fairly recently. Hey, what's going on, Carol?
Hey, how are you?
Pretty good. How you doing?
Good. Loading updates here.
You have one too?
Yeah.
How come I didn't have one?
Already, it was like a 56 megabyte update.
I didn't have one.
I have one.
That's weird. If you're out there and playing Railroads Online right now, let us know if you have a 56 megabyte update on Steam.
I honestly didn't see how many megs it was, but there was an update.
Yeah, a little tiny update, and like everybody had one except for her.
That's weird.
Were you downloading in the background?
No.
So I have Steamstat to do that, and sometimes it doesn't, so I don't know.
You got like 2 cars to go there, Rick.
Yep.
I'll just keep in with the basics, folks. Remember, we use car counts for those easy definable moves. Helps the engineer know what we're doing. Half a car. 13,
Half a
keep her coming. Yeah, 6 feet. 2 feet. 1 feet. And pins in. Let me go start kicking off handbrakes.
Yep.
Hey there, Squiggy.
Oh!
After 84 years, 502 is finally arriving.
Oh,
Rip
yeah,
Van Winkle.
Physics are doing weird stuff right now.
No, I'm just hearing hammers.
No,
Yeah, it's being super weird for me down here in Mile Long Yard. Like, I've got a train here that this class 70 should have no problem with, and it's struggling.
Yeah,
haven't
there's some weird
I haven't
physics
put tank
interactions
cars
going
on
on
here
today.
yet.
I'm watching an engine bounce up and down on the rail. Now it stopped.
That's pretty normal.
You know, I think it's the Lionel train set that ruined the game.
It looked like the engine was floating in front of me.
Alright, 13, all the handbrakes are knocked off. Okay to pull.
Pull ahead. Roger.
And we're going out to clear the main throat switch.
Got it.
Now you'll hear me use this term, throat. And the throat's just a group of switches that are in a line and they all fan off. And the throat is that line of switches that goes up.
Basically, because they all funnel into one thing, like
A
funneling
throat.
something into your mouth.
Yep.
Not to step on your
No.
explanation there, but
I appreciate the chiming in. Because my words always aren't the best words. I will admit that.
we have words. They are good words.
Occasional
All the words.
nice words. Many words. Words for things that are occasionally
much words.
descriptive.
Many much words.
Now, viewers, you are about to learn why this yard is terrible. Squiggy,
Uh-oh.
once
Oh.
we clear and you're all tied down, can you bring your engines out of the arrival yard? Number 6 can go back into the engine house at the ready tracks. And
Okay.
number 40 can go into an engine house over in the engine house world. I don't have a better name for it, viewers. I've been calling it engine house world kind of as comedy. And I don't have a better name for it. I could call it the roundhouse, I guess. The back shop, I don't know. A more railroady term, but engine house world I think is hilarious.
It works.
I think I have to come over there and build some amusement park rides next to it.
No, there's already an
already
amusement. Yes. We could build a roller coaster at Pharmatherma.
Could do that.
For those of you watching, if you're on the official Discord, if you ever type the word roller coaster as one word, that's...
Nope, 2 words.
That's 2 words?
2 words with a space.
Those are not all of the cars. But
Uh-oh.
okay.
What happens if you type roller coaster?
If you type
It
roller
pings one of
coaster,
the mods.
yeah,
Oh, sorry.
it pings one of the mods.
That's great.
You're probably gonna want to respawn. I think you're at smelter.
Oh, I can't do anything because I'm just frozen. So
4 more cars. They're 13.
I am at smelter.
Got it.
All right, there we go.
Squiggy, you can start creeping out.
Okay.
Isn't it the schmelter?
2 more.
Smelter.
Yes, with the CH.
Yes.
BMAC, this is you running around my locomotive here, right?
Yes.
1,
Okay. We gotta grab all these
half.
tank cars, all 8 of them, and we gotta then fly them by onto the train.
Yay.
Far enough, 13.
We could run around them like responsible adults too, but that's less fun.
Alright. We're gonna kick these cars into the spawn yard.
Okay.
But 13, I'm gonna need you to come in past the ready track switch, okay? So that way Squiggy can get by you and up onto the ready tracks.
1.
Got it. Yeah.
Alright, give me a big kick whenever you're ready.
All
And
right.
it's bold.
All right, switch. I think Ninja Cat is officially the chaotic neutral of the railroading world here,
Why?
as he's talking about flying switches and all sorts of weird crap that he wants to do.
Where is he talking about this?
Why are we just saying it in chat?
Yeah.
I'm literally just speaking about it. I just said we gotta take these 8 tank cars and then fly them by onto the train.
What?
We could run around them like responsible adults, but that's not fun.
Yeah, and
Yes.
I just said that we're gonna kick 12 empty state cars. Rick, can you
Dogs
give
and
me a
cats
can
living
you
together,
give me a
that's
harder
hysteria.
shove than that?
Need a little bit more. Yeah.
Yeah, it's moving pretty slow.
Glitching hardcore.
Yeah, you shove hard and I'll let you know when you could back off.
Got it. Yeah.
Were you allowed to do drops with loaded tank cars in the back in the day? Was that a thing?
I can't imagine why not.
Probably.
You could basically do anything with anything that wasn't a car full of munitions.
Yep.
Okay.
You were standing in
Lincoln Pit
between with.
Couplers.
I was just gonna say, you were standing in
The
between with a
Santa Fe
link.
Did that with
Link
the carload
and
of
pin
ammunition.
couplers.
Yeah, they did.
Sorry, Bimek, I didn't mean to talk over you.
Oh no, sorry, you're fine. It's quite alright. I'm pretty sure the Santa Fe did a flying switch with a ammunition boxcar at some point.
Probably.
Yeah, flattened the whole yard.
Oh.
I think it was a
That-
flying switch.
That sounds right.
Oh, that kind of flying switch. Okay.
Switch parts went
Listen.
flying.
We here are professionals and we don't do things like that.
We
So,
are railroaders playing Railroads Online.
So things flew, is what you're saying.
Yes, there was a big hole.
Alright, that's probably good there,
Mhm.
13. You just wanna hole up out of in the clear of the ready tracks there.
Am I seeing a derailed car of pipes and a derailed log thing, or is that just
That's just
me?
you.
Nope. There they go. They snap back.
6 cars, 93.
did
Alright.
you go for a ride in the Lionel train?
The Lionel train?
Run that way. Run past the engine houses and stuff.
Yeah, run over towards
is
Engine House World.
Is that your little G scale thing?
Yeah.
It says Garden Railroad.
It says Garden Railroad, yeah.
Should be running as long
There's
as
the
the
row of
engine.
hand cars.
Yeah, it should be running as long as the engine ran out of fire.
If you would like to know why the game gets glitchier, it's because Rudy has laid down more
It's
track.
Rudy. Yes. Usually when something goes wrong, it's Rudy.
Oh, bad hit.
I'm married to him, I can say that.
Hey,
Hey. Alright, this thing is like full speed here.
yeah, well,
It's a Lionel train. What else do you do with the
yeah,
Lionel
there's,
train?
there's on or off. Things don't have any voltage regulation.
Oh, I love it.
You can pull it.
Okay.
So, like I was saying earlier, this part of the departure yard, and I do count this as part of my departure yard, is specifically for the woods branch. So, usually what was that? That would be track 5 right there to my right. That's for the logging camp. but I'm currently using that for storage. Costs that's longer than my car storage yard, which is also a problem that my car storage yard is not long enough. You're seeing the problems with this yard design here, and I hope you're taking notes and realizing, like, ugh, don't do that like Casey, because that's dumb.
Oh, jeez.
What? It's true.
No, it's not that it's dumb. It's that in hindsight, you can see the problems with it after it's built.
Yeah, before I had an entire connected railroad and I was just going to the iron mine and the coal mine, this was a perfect yard.
That's what I'm saying. It's not that it was dumb. It worked for what it was built for.
It did.
And then when you expanded, it didn't work anymore.
This is
I'm
true.
sure a lot of railroads ran into that.
This is true. I'm being a little hard on it. I
Yep.
probably should have rebuilt this, but by the time it was time to rebuild this, we started getting murmurs of the spline update. What's that, Squee there?
Yep.
Alright, or that's Rick.
Yeah, I tied it down here on this.
I'm behind you.
Okay. Carolyn, over
Yeah.
in the arrival yard, there is a rogue mogul.
Oh.
Can you pin that off, run it around, and put it in an engine house over in Engine House World?
He
Do you
lined
know
up,
what number it
Yeah, you
is?
can make that cut, BMAC.
No.
pulling it.
Okay.
Here we go.
We've
It-
got a rogue mogul with no number.
It's not 34, 39, or 36.
I think you gotta put a Lincoln pin in that tank car, BMAC.
Roger.
Are you coming ahead with that mogul, Squee, or is that tied down up there?
Yeah,
I'll grab-
tied down for now.
Alright,
I'll grab the switch here.
you still in 13, Rick?
Yeah,
Alright, let's come ahead with 13. We're gonna head back over to the arrival yard.
Roger.
Right. The only one over here is 30.
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about.
Okay. So I gotta make sure I have switches because 6 is coming in. Okay. Hang on.
You should have a while before 602 comes in.
No. Engine number 6 just came through the switch that I need to go through.
Huh?
If I'm gonna back out of the yard, somebody's in number 6 and just came into the yard.
Oh,
Wait,
That was
no.
the Squeaky's helper.
Yeah, it's Squeaky's helper. There should be another mogul all the way down at the south end of the yard.
Oh, maybe I'm okay. I'm not far enough down then. 30 is up by the engine house. Hold on.
Would a rogue mogul be a rogul?
A rogul.
I think
yes.
it would.
Well,
I think so.
it's just my draw distance.
Yeah.
I didn't
No, we-
see anything else down there.
I think I found a weird bug with that last night, where as we got up towards like 30 cars on a fresh save with limited track, my draw
Mhm.
distance decreased.
Ah, interesting. Oh, it's Frigg. Okay.
Are you full throttle on this thing?
No. I just don't want to derail. I don't have a lot of engineer experience, so.
Neither do I. Join the club.
Yeah, welcome. You know what?
You got like
Maybe-
2 more hours engineering experience last weekend.
That's true. Yeah,
Well-
coming back from the coal mine. Creeping.
Oh, wait, me or Rick?
Oh, no, yeah, well, I was, yeah. It took forever.
I meant you, Carolyn.
Alright,
yeah,
13,
I actually
that's
got to
far
run a
enough.
critter in the yard.
Yep.
So that was
Okay.
fun.
Yeah, she was
Uh,
running while I was debating flying switches.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, we didn't do flying switches in the yard. No,
Bring it
not
back.
happening.
yeah,
You
bring it
missed
back
that
13
conversation on
for,
Monday
bring it back 20.
or Sunday.
Me?
Yeah, I was saying to them, I said we were trying to spot. I think it was the gray boxcar,
Mm-hmm.
and my first thought we were like, oh, we can just kick that. Wait, we can't
Yeah,
do that
no.
here.
No, we're not kicking things in an actual rail yard. No.
I was
Especially
telling
not historic equipment.
I was telling that story earlier and trying to not, call you guys out on that move, but you did it yourself.
Whatever.
That's okay. We still did it safely.
Yeah, I didn't kick the car. I mean,
All right. Where am I bringing this mogul? I'm sorry.
Over to Engine House World, into an empty
Okay.
engine house.
Roger. got to run a cute little Army, ex-U.S. Army 18-ton critter on Saturday.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. There should be. I'm sorry. There should be 3 handbrakes on the first 3 pipe cars. I think that's it.
Okie/dokie.
And 602 to dispatch. We're ready to depart. My long yard.
Railroad's yours, 602.
Okay.
We'll see you soon. Or maybe not.
Well, knowing him,
I don't know. The game's being weird on my end as well tonight.
wishful thinking.
Fingers crossed, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So
Wow.
you said 40's going to Engine House World?
Yeah.
Alright, I'm getting switches set up for that.
Conductor 93, highball.
Alright, so, 31 here is moving like she's going through cold molasses.
Tender
and I'm not
handbrake
really
on.
sure why. Nope.
Yeah. I felt that too with 93. 93's doing the same thing down here.
Hey,
No break.
BMAC, I think I found the pin that you pulled the other night.
Oh, I thought I put it back in.
No.
I must have pulled 2 pins.
Oh, good times with the desyncs.
There was a ghost pin in the middle of the track.
Your handbrake isn't on? You're running
No.
it up. Well, your steam isn't all the way up.
Far enough
Wait,
there,
what?
13.
Steam is not all the way up.
Because I had to refuel. Okay.
Alright, highball 13. Heading, north out.
Highball in the yard, alright.
Yard speed is 15 miles an hour, and the Heisler can do 15.
This is the 19 and we're highballing out of the yard.
Your other ahead.
Yeah.
Yay, video games.
That's another. We were talking. I think we talked a little bit about this last week. Was yard speed? Was yard limits and how there's inside yard limits. There's what's known as yard speed. And it's the fire went out, didn't it?
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Ooh. We're not going anywhere.
This is full speed, by the way, folks. So, be a long trip up to Hill Valley.
How many
Oh,
cars
yeah.
are you pulling?
20.
Yeah. Oh, loaded tank cars?
Well, I got 8 loaded tank cars, 6 loaded pipe cars, and 6 empty stake flats.
There you go.
But plus a caboose. But
It's flat.
it's not. That's not even the problem. It's running sluggish even by light.
There's some weird physics interaction going on tonight because I was noticing
Something's
that.
wrong.
Yeah.
You're moving a light engine. You shouldn't have any issue. You sure?
I'm at 50% with full boiler pressure on a light engine, and I'm not going anywhere.
Your tender handbrake isn't on?
I don't think so.
You see, I was running slow solo for a little bit before people started hopping in. Like everything was just moving slow. Something weird's going on with the game tonight, and yeah.
No, it's me.
Should we leave the
BMAC,
handbrake
you
on?
want to get the main line switch back there when we get over it?
Yeah, the tender
Hey.
handbrake was on, and I'm not used to that, so that was part of my problem. But
You should be used to that. We put handbrakes on literally every piece of equipment we switched last weekend. Multiple times.
I wasn't conducting. You were.
That's true. That's why my knees hurt.
Mm-hmm. I was in the engine. That's why my arm hurts. So this little 18-ton critter has a hand clutch that doesn't lock into place properly. So you're holding the clutch forward with your left arm as you're running.
Oh.
Which after about an hour and a half gets really, really tough.
Cool.
Especially since I had surgery on my left elbow about 6 months ago. And it's really not back up to 100% strength. So I think I ran for about 2 hours or so. And a bunch of other guys showed up. I'm like, all right, somebody else has got to take this over. I just can't. But it's a fun engine to run. It's actually, it's a chain drive, real simple, no traction motors, no crap. It's a real easy engine. It's actually a lot of fun. Once you get used to the air brakes are touchy. once you get used to the right way to apply it's fun. It's actually really fun to run. It's not difficult at all.
Nice. You're gonna want to get some switches there as you go by. Or wait, I could run up with you. I'll run up with you and get some switches.
No, I was actually just stopping because I didn't know what was lined where.
I'll run up because I gotta get switches behind you so that way we can come through.
Thank you.
Once you get pressure 13, you can start creeping up.
Okay. Yeah, it's building.
All right. Frig, you're clear through.
Roger. It's funny you said that just as I was like applying the brake to go check my switches. I didn't realize you were back there.
Nope, I got you through.
Thank you.
We're gonna be Squiggy should have you lined all the way towards the engine house world, and you'll just have to pick one once you get there.
Okay.
Yep.
And we'll be chasing your tail out of the arrival yard.
Yeah, I'm kind of jumpy here. Let's see what happens.
Hi.
So this is kind of where the yard starts to falter.
Hello there.
Hook in the shoulder.
Yeah, I see that.
Where anything coming in needs to use that any movement needs to use that piece of track right there. Period. End of it. Every single thing on the railroad moving through this yard needs to use this piece of track 31's about to come up onto. And it kind of bottlenecks everything in the move, anything in the railroad. Almost everything has to end up touching this switch. You may want to stop there, 31. Alright, you're lined.
Good timing.
Good ahead.
Yeah.
So,
Start coming ahead.
you know, it wouldn't be difficult to fix that.
But at this point in the game, I don't want to.
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
All you have to do is put a lead in, an extra yard lead in down the main, on the northbound side of the yard.
Alright, 31, you're lined.
Thank you.
And cut that in
I'm kind of jumping all over the place here. Hang on. There we go.
ahead of the switch that goes to the main. So it would have to be east of the switch to the main. If you added a lead there, then you'd be able to switch and separate the yard out from the main, still get trains in and out of the arrival yard without having to worry about being afoul of the switching lead.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
Totally random. But I love Rick's username, which is not only pronouncing his last name, but the whole K4 thing. I don't know if that was an intended double entendre, but...
No, but that's great. I didn't even think about the PIR connection. That was my grandfather's license plate. So.
That's cool.
Nice. Alright. 13, you're lined through the yard.
Squiggy, you got me line coming in?
Yep. I even have some doors open for you, so you just need to roll right in.
Roger, thank you.
Yeep.
I'm skipping around pretty good here with the desync, so I'm on my way. And, you know, dropping bells as I go. I think I just ran through somebody else's bell.
Ghost bell.
Ghost bells. Ghost doors, ghost bells, you know.
It's a haunted railroad, what can we say?
Sure.
Uh, 8 cars to go.
Roger.
That sounds so weird. All of a sudden it's like 100% throttle and then 0. And I haven't touched anything.
4 more cars.
the desync when it becomes disconnected from the rail.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it spins like it's not
2.
on rails.
1.
Okay.
Half.
Yeah, I can't
Truck.
get the brake. It's jumping so much. There it is.
Right?
Far enough.
Are you in the F
The
view or
Heisler.
just in the cab view?
Oh no, I'm in the cab view. Can you switch?
Yeah, if you
look at the floor and hit F, it'll give you a
Oh,
an
thank
outside view.
goodness. Phew.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I use on my own, so it's so much better.
I can't run. I love they've got the levers and everything, but I just can't run that way. And
Yeah, once they
I
fix it,
can't grab things.
when they fix the jumpiness, it'll be better.
Exactly.
Alright, Rick, we're gonna kick these
Kick 'em?
first set of cordwood cars up. Give me a hard shove. We're gonna fly these up the east side of the freight depot for now.
You pulled the pin there?
Yeah, I already got the pin. So what I'm doing, and I'm kind of putting cars strategically based on kind of stacking stuff on the order it needs to go out, and putting it in a convenient place to go out. The east side of the freight depot, I wind up using for mostly cordwood trains because it's kind of a convenient spot for them. Because they usually come in, engine cuts off, and then goes right, and those cars immediately get put into the departure yard. So I use that. I use that kind of as a cordwood arrival track. So this is the kind of things I'm thinking of as I'm using the yard, and it wasn't designed that way, but it kind of became an accidental use case. That's good. They're 13.
That's good for future building, though. I mean, once we get the spline updates and everything else, you've got like the things you know did or didn't work.
Exactly, and I'm hoping that people tonight see what works, what doesn't work here, and kind of uses that designing their own yard. What I'm using when I'm thinking about designing my next yard with the spline update is I'm looking at historic aerials of like Alamosa, Antonito, and looking at how those yards were Gunnison, looking at how those yards were laid out, and keeping that in mind as I'm laying out my stuff next. 13, you can start coming back.
Train 602 to dispatch.
Yeah, 602.
We're coming up on the yard board here for south end of Hill Valley Yard.
Copy that. I don't know if you're lined into anything. Can someone run over there and check, please?
I'm on my way.
Thank you, Squiggy. And the next train that needs to run is 98 out of Mohawk, if two people want to run over and take that. I know BMAC will refuse that train.
Yeah, I have
It's-
to
it's got
AFK
Eureka's.
for just a minute, but then I can grab
Oh.
something in.
Yeah, no.
We'll also refuse that train then.
I'll be right back.
Okay, so I think Squiggy, do you want to take the passenger train with Carolyn when she gets back?
Sure, yeah.
However far it makes it is however far it makes it. It can fall 24 hours off its timetable.
Not sure.
Oh, and then you can run it as an extra.
You really love the extra train, don't you?
I do love extras.
Well, it looks like 602's lined for arrival 3?
Counting from the outside?
Like I'm counting from Freight Depot out.
Okay, I count from track you came in on in.
Oh,
That would
okay.
be 2. That still works.
Yes. Yeah, arrival 2.
I was gonna say you're running out of time to make a decision here because coming up on you.
Oh, yeah.
Do we need to cut the caboose off of this?
No. Yard crew will take care of it.
Okay. And it's moving, so we could just pull the pin and...
No, it's got too many curves to go around.
Okay.
13, you got 4 to a hook?
Roger.
And viewers, if you're just joining us, this is Railroaders Play Railroads Online, and tonight's a workshop in yard design and use. 2 more cars are 13.
Roger.
One more car. Now's usually the point where I'd plug the exclamation point tree to bring you to our link tree, but we're not really out on the main line tonight, so there's not a whole lot to see. But if you do want to see the map of the railroad, 6 feet there, 13. And pins in. Let's get you cut away. That's inside fouling. Alright, you're clear to cut away. And what we'll do is we'll go run up and hold. We'll go run up and cross over to main 2.
Mhm.
So that way 602 can cut off and
Roger.
head into an engine house. So tonight we're talking about yards, how they work. You missed it earlier. We gave a brief tour of the yard, but I'll still call out where part of the yards we're working in as we're working there. Right now I'm running up to the main throat switch for the yard to get us to cross over to main 2, so that way we can come back down into the arrival yard and start breaking up the train that just came in. Well, the train just before that just came in.
How are we on the hind end here?
Don't worry about it. If you're up at the foul points on the north end and tie down, we could work from there.
Okay.
One car. And you're in the clear.
Try to stop.
Once you guys stop, you can cut away and proceed into engine house world. We'll be
Yeah,
we'll be out of your way.
we're gonna drift right out the other end of the siding here, so everybody stand by. I'm fouling this end of the track now. I gotta shove it back a little bit.
13. Once you clear that next switch, bring it to a stop.
Roger.
Now, Rudy brought up a good point earlier about how there's no drill track for this yard. And what a drill track is, it's a track separate from your main that allows you to work your yard without fouling up your main line. So that way you can still work different points of it and get trains made up, break up trains. That's far enough, 13. You can bring her back.
3 cars, 93.
I'm up to 3 cars. I think I only need to take about 1.5 here.
But we're working the Hill Valley Yard. So there's no drill track. And that means that no matter what you do, you need to foul the main line to move from yard to yard. And to get anything done. And 13, just bring it to a stop before you foul the next set of switches.
We can tie it down right here.
We'll hole up there.
Brake set back here.
Yep, brakes on the head end rather. I'll cut the engine off here.
93, all the switches are lined and locked normal for you to come, all the switches are lined for you to come out of the arrival yard. You'll have to get your own switches into an engine house.
Except for this switch right ahead of me that's lined incorrectly.
Yes, except for that switch. Except for that one switch, everything else is lined for you.
Okay.
That is what I said as yard master, master of the yard.
Roger.
Alright, so Rudy and BMAC, next train for you guys. Next train out is extra 12 to the sawmill. And you're getting 7 cars a beam, 7 cars fully loaded with beams, and 1 car with just 2 beams. I will drop that in the Waybills channel so you don't forget.
What if I forget to look at the Waybills channel?
Well, then we need something in game. Alright, 13, you can bring it back. We may be able to ask... What's up?
Where's this engine going? This is going up by the
And by the Lionel
Enhanced
set.
Worlds?
Yeah, by
Okay.
the Lionel trains.
Alright, I'm at Mohonk. I'm gonna be AFK for a second.
Alright, copy that. It's not Christmas.
Why not?
There's no snow on the ground.
That's because it was developed away. I like the bell here sitting in midair ringing.
That's our bell.
Is there a specific spot in Enhanced World this is going to go, or just wherever there's a space for it?
Wherever there's a space. You got 6 cars just stop there, 12, 13.
Sure.
BMAX, is that open?
Yes.
2,
Roger.
1 more car. Half a car. You got about 2 feet.
Here we go.
Alright, and pins in. Okay, alright, you're cut away. Okay, to pull to clear the switch for the main.
Pull ahead.
Alright, we're taking 12, you said?
12, I dropped a note in the waybills for you, and I am doing your train order now.
Do you want to run BMAC, or you want me to do it? I mean, it is a high star, it's kind of your domain.
Okay, we got all the cars we need.
I'm getting switches if you want to start running up.
Don't start getting switches. You
Oh,
don't have
why?
permission yet.
Well, fine then. If you want to pull up to
Creep,
BMAC, if you want to pull up to the fire depot, we can just park there for the moment and wait.
you guys can creep up to the throat track. Or creep
Okay.
up to the ready track, okay? We will clear north of main 2. So that way you can get out.
Okay.
And
Alright,
this
so
is
I can line up to that.
you can line up to that.
Okay.
Back wherever you need me.
Alright, can you run over to Mohonk and help out Squiggy? Run the passenger train.
Sure.
Mohawk is down by between the refinery and the ironworks.
Okay, I was just gonna go look that up. Okay. Thank you.
I think it's right about where the R and refinery is on the map.
Okay. I haven't been on in a while, so. Thank you.
You got 4 to clear there, 13.
4
BMAC,
cars.
you can pull up here. We're gonna line switches. So many line switches.
1 more car.
1 car.
You can bring it to a stop anywhere you can.
Roger.
BMAC, we're lined out.
Extra 12, you have permission to depart.
Right, I'm back.
Alright, hey Squiggy. Do you need a hand stopping here, Rick?
Yeah, it's rolling a bit. I got the brake on full application.
Yeah, let me start tying on some handbrakes.
It's coming to a stop here.
That's the 3 handbrakes I put on.
Roger.
Can't hear you, Left.
I said I really think sometimes you guys have an advantage because I've never run Steam.
Nah, they're not. They're not really steam engines in the game.
Not yet.
Yeah, true. I mean, I guess it's the same, brakes and forward and reverse and iron hand brakes on it, whatever. But
Rudy, can you normal the switch for the 1-2 crossover as you go through it?
Yep.
All right, Rick, can you pull your pin on the engine in those tank cars there?
Yep.
All right. Once I say so, start giving a really good shove, as hard as you can, and then you can line yourself back into the arrival yard. I'm gonna ride these kick cars down into the departure yard and tie them down.
Roger.
Normal.
We're gonna be grabbing the coal cars that are one track to the right of where we just were.
Okay. Got it.
You're
Coming
normal.
back.
You're good to go.
Oh, actually, I lied. We're not grabbing those.
So is
Just go
train
down
not
and
neat?
you can start shoving there, 13. And then pull up next to the freight depot instead on the west side of it,
West side. That's
the arrival yard
the
side.
engine houses. Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
On the right. Yep. Got it.
I'll even get your switch for you while I'm standing here.
Oh, wait a minute. It's my pressure. Yeah, 160. All right, good.
What was your question there, 98?
So are we just taking the cabooses or passenger cars, or
You're taking the passenger cars and the freight cars there at the dock.
all right?
I'll drop the waybill in there for you.
Squiggy, I'm headed down by you.
All righty.
And this is where it becomes tricky, folks, doing the yard mastering, the waybilling, the dispatching, the conducting. Oh, that's a set of tank cars. I should get on those.
Yeah, it's fine.
We do have other people that do conducting for you.
Yeah, but she just sent you off to run through the woods. Yes, but she just sent you off to run through the woods.
Not me necessarily. I suck at conducting, but
Yeah, and I
look at you online.
also don't have a switch list made up, so I'm kind of making up the switch list in my head tonight.
Ah, got it.
So if I had a switch list, I would give you a switch list. But I don't have a switch
Swinging it.
list. I am. Because I know what trains need to get made up, but it's all in my head tonight, unfortunately. And viewers, switch list. Excellent thing if you're running a yard. It's basically a list of what cars need to go to what track and in what order.
Can I plug
That-
something real quick?
Absolutely.
The Conrail Historical Society actually has Conrail switch lists available. If you go to Conrail Shop, SHOPPE.com, you can get actual Conrail reproduction switch lists, which is kind of cool for this kind of thing. You could scan them and use them that way if you wanted, but I just thought it was kind of a neat addition.
Oh, that is excellent. Maybe we'll get that up on our link tree, so that way people can go to that as we're talking about these things. Because that's
I think they're like
$5 a pad. They're cheap.
there's 100 per pad or 50 per pad or something like that.
Something like that.
awesome.
Oh, nice.
There's little tear off ones. Also, they don't say Conrail on them.
No, which is weird.
It's the industry switch list.
Yeah,
But-
we may make the next railroad the Conrail Railroad.
Fantastic.
Sure.
But yeah,
Alright,
folks,
Swiggy, I'm here.
that's part of what we want to do. Is there's a lot of good resources out there. We're hoping to teach you some stuff. If we come up with good resources, fun, educational stuff, we want to be able to collect that and get that to you. So like Nick and I've been talking about coming up with a list of really good literature and putting that up there for train orders, for dispatching, for railroad history, the local, the extra train, how steam engines work, all of that stuff.
10 feet. Sorry. 5 feet. On the stop. Yeah,
Well, on the topic of blank paperwork, Micromark, one of the hobby retailers, has blank form 19s, 31s, clearance form A's, bad order cards, and track warrants.
Ooh.
Nice.
13, keep coming south. Coming down to the
As
south
well
end of the
as
Skibber's track.
As well as card cards and waybills if you're into that thing.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Nice.
Yeah, I plugged the Conrail thing because
Yeah, absolutely.
and I knew they had them. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of resources out there, which is cool.
Yes, they love you've not only used the Micromark car cards, but you're the person that designed them and made them.
I'm sorry?
You have not only used the Micromark card cards, but you have also met the person that designed them and produced them.
Tom?
Yeah.
Cool.
That
Fun
was his
fact.
thing. He wanted them for himself and happened to be president of the company when he did it.
Nice.
Which is why a tool company made car cards.
That
Okay.
I was curious about that.
Yeah.
I find it interesting how we always end up relating this game back to model railroading, and I think that's
Yeah.
I think that's a cool thing about the virtual railroading stuff is that it is so similar to model railroading that you kind of can't get away from it. That's far enough there, 13. Yeah, let's bring it ahead.
So it is kind of virtual modeling in a lot of ways.
It is. It's Nick and I have jokingly called this my layout before as we're planning out streams.
Sorry, Squiggy, I'm not sure where we're headed, so tell me what we're doing here.
Okay, so we're gonna
Shove back?
shove back to the station platform
Roger.
over there, and then we'll pick up the freight cars at the dock there and tack those on, and then we'll get the second engine out of the engine house, and we'll double head out of here.
Station platform, got it. Okay, that's the other building back there, right?
Yep.
Alright,
Alright, that is
sorry,
far
I
enough,
didn't mean
13.
to step on your...
Alright, 13 is pull ahead.
Nope, you are not lined correctly.
Oh.
Back up.
Sorry,
What
I
did you
mean,
say ahead?
let's pull back,
Roger.
20 cars. We're going to clear the arrival yard, throw it out by the Y.
Got it.
So, I was saying something about model railroading. This is usually the point where Nick would try and remind me of what topic I was on, because he's good at that. But,
No, he just makes some kind of horrible pun.
No, he would start telling a story about the history of Hill Valley and its entomology.
That's most likely. That's probably the actual answer.
I'm sorry.
Nick, we love you, we miss you, can't wait to hang out, can't wait to Friday stream, and our amazing special guest. And I've teased it in the title, and I'm sure people out there are wondering who our special guest is. And we've already dropped who it is. Yeah, everyone out there should know by now. I'm just gonna keep teasing it, because I like being mean. But
Yeah, I'm not sure we're lined properly. I'm sorry, Casey. Were you picking these freight cars up or no?
I was gonna drop
Nope.
these.
Shoot.
You're-
Whoa,
These
Cars
cars
are
are
who?
here first.
We're on the
Okay,
ground.
Yep.
Yeah, we are.
Roger. Sorry, I was trying to figure out what we were doing.
Who left that switch wrong?
Oh,
Three
good.
cars.
Well then,
Get the wrecker.
2.
You guys have a good one?
Not
Sawmill
really.
Operator dispatch.
Yeah.
yeah, go ahead, sawmill operator.
A little.
Extra 12 north arrived sawmill.
Do you want to rerail this right here?
Yeah, you want to re-rail it up there? Sawmill operator, go ahead.
Extra 12 north arrived sawmill 8:44 p.m.
Copy that. Extra 12 arrived sawmill 8:44 p.m.
8, you're good to pull forward.
On the topic of model railroading, one thing that would be very nice for this video game would be a fast clock.
Yeah, we are kind of running ahead of normal clock schedules, aren't we?
Yeah. Alright, 13, bring her back.
There's been some discussion on the main server about about some of the upcoming maps. Well, at least one of them is compressed to like a 1-to-6 ratio. So it would
Should have a
be
1 to 6 clock.
1-to-6 clock.
Alright, you're
Alright,
good to stop.
far enough,
there, right?
13. Alright, 13, pull ahead, like 6 cars to clear the switch.
Roger, 6 cars.
8, your line for your freight cars.
Yep.
I'm not very good at conductor, so we're just kind of doing this on a whim here.
It's all good.
We're getting 7 2/3 cars of beams.
Correct. Alright, 13, that is far enough. What we're going to do
Sure.
here, we're going to kick this car through. You're going to run
12.
back down the main to the other side of the arrival yard and tack onto those coal cars, okay? So,
Okay.
give me a good kick and
2,
I'll meet you over there.
down.
Roger.
Half car.
Half
Yeah.
car.
Rick, as a new member here, is getting a crash course in how this railroad operates.
Indeed.
5 feet.
I
Good hitch. Let me brakes off.
Hey, fortunately, there hasn't been a crash yet.
No, but we
Knock on
wrecked.
wood.
Oh,
We rolled over a Heisler.
Nice.
Rudy hasn't been playing long enough for.
He's not running
Alright.
currently.
Here's you.
8, we're good to go.
Yeah, we were talking earlier about how I use the spawn yard as departure yards. And I kind of designate a track for every train just to help keep the yard more organized. So coal mine stuff always leaves off of this track here, which is departure 3. Because it counts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7. So I have 7 departure tracks, only 4 arrival tracks. So departure 3 is always my coal mine train. It's always the 400 series. And I do that just to keep things more organized, more together. So that way it's easier on the crews to know, like, alright, they're marking up on train 400. That's always found on track 3. Perfect. It helps the crews, and it helps keep things organized in your brain when you're putting together trains. So that way when you host an op session, you aren't wondering, like, where the hell did I put that? Organized for you, and it's... yeah, I don't know how much of a real-world practice it is. No, it is a... I was doing
it's
freight
totally a
on...
thing.
I was like, I only do short line stuff, and like, we didn't have a huge yard like this, but when we would interchange with NS, our inbound cars were always on track. Oh god, that would have been 12. It was track 12 of a 4-track yard. Thank you, Conrail. So yeah, our cars always came in on a specific track, and our outbounds always went back a track over, and that was track 10.
Sorry to interrupt. Squig, are we picking up those cars again? I don't see our waybill. I'm sorry.
It's in the Waybill channel.
What number are we?
You are train 98.
Oh, we gotta shove back just a smidge.
It's the picture one.
Backing up one smidge.
I'm not seeing it. I'm sorry. Train 98?
I pinged you.
That's good. You can pull 2.
Oh, Roger. Got it. Sorry. For
That
some
is a...
reason, Discord didn't update.
Oh, that's weird.
Slow her down there, Squig. Sorry, I was looking at something else.
Yep.
Got about
Okay.
half a car.
half car.
Designate your tracks for specific trains. It'll help you keep your yards more organized.
Five feet.
1 to go, 12.
1.
Alright, that's far enough, 13.
Good hitch.
Half. And bring to a stop, 12. Should be good.
Okay to come ahead, 13.
Moment. Make sure the handbrakes are off. 6 are off. 8, you're good to go forward.
Well, pull forward, like, I don't know, one smidge, I guess.
Well,
One,
I could
one
just-
crane is really finicky about its location.
But you guys are getting a great night of radio chatter, I'll tell you. It's rare we have this much radio chatter going on.
That's good stuff.
Yep.
Did someone find rogue boxcar doors?
They're down by the crossing towards, whatever the station is south of Hell Valley. There's a couple of them sitting down there.
Oh, Hurley.
Yeah, that one. 12, we are ready to depart. We can head back to Hell Valley.
Roger.
How did I write your train order? Oh, and return. Yeah, there we go.
You want me to shove or
Just shove, yeah, that's fine.
I was gonna run around, but
Yeah, I can shove them in anyway, so it'd be 2 runaround moves.
We don't have a current map, do we?
Minis works up to date. And it's far enough 13. Let me get the handbrakes.
I'm watching the hind end 12, we can shove.
shoving south.
Squiggy, bear with me a second. I'm having trouble loading stuff.
okay.
There we go. Oh boy. So the problem here is I have not gone with you guys in a long time, and I don't know the names for things. Hold on. I know Ashokan and whatnot, but I don't know where that lies on your map. So bear with me a second.
You're going far. First
Yep.
stop for you guys is Hill Valley. So you just get to there. Alright, 13, okay to pull.
Roger.
We're going to clear the throat switch.
Clear throat, right.
What? I'm sorry.
Well, we hope you guys out there are enjoying watching tonight in our mini-sode. And we hope that you do tune in on Friday at 8 p.m. instead of 7:30. Our guest is coming from the West Coast, so we are pushing back a little bit later to accommodate that. So I know it's going to be tough, but I hope that you do come out for it. It's going to be a fun one for sure. Probably a little bit shenanigan-y, but definitely educational. I believe Friday's lecture, and let me pull up my paperwork here. Yep, Friday's class is double heading 107, so you are going to want to come out for that. It's going to be a great one. Our guest has run on the narrow gauge, has double headed up Croom Grace Pass on historic freight trains, has on photo charters, has done some firing up Croom Grace as well on double headers. All around, it's gonna be a great class. So can recommend coming out for it.
I got up to help Carolyn with the map, and I lost my seat.
Nice.
Oh,
10 cars to go.
10 cars.
Muted.
I got stuck in a tender.
Yeah, 5 more
I
cars.
guess that's not the worst place to be
Okay.
stuck.
I think a firebox would be worse.
Yeah.
Why am I not?
2 cars.
2.
Carolyn, if you
Yeah.
have an opportunity, would you
1
mind
car.
pulling number 4 forward so I can
And-
get out of this tender?
Far enough, 13.
Oh, you're stuck in the tender?
Yep.
Oh, sorry. Yes. It now.
Alright,
Thank you.
you can stop whenever you're able, and we'll give these cars a kick.
The tender brake on?
Tender brakes
Should
are on
be off.
every engine.
What?
Every engine should be parked with a tender brake on.
Understood, but it's not, and things aren't moving.
On
Yeah.
the point.
Figure out what's going on.
Alright, I'm on point, give me a good shove.
Roger, shoving ahead.
You get 2 Eurekas there, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Check any handbrakes can be on. Those things don't pull very well. There's a reason you have 2 engines for a 6-car train.
Oh.
Or if there's a regular brake on the second engine.
Yeah.
Oh.
Actually, Squiggy, you can. If you want to run the second engine there, I think that's what's screwing me up.
Well,
here.
first of all, whatever engine you're in, love, is running backwards.
That's weird because I didn't do that.
Also, everybody, I just want to say this is a first in a very long time. The water tanks in our tenders on numbers 4 and 8 are low.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Oh,
You also separated your locomotives.
I did separate the locomotives. I just saw that.
alright, that's probably good there, Rick.
So keep shoving. You're good for about 3,000 cars.
Roger. 3,000. Clear as far as the eye can see,
Yes, and beyond.
and beyond.
Squiggy got like 1 car, and we'll reconnect here.
We're
Rick,
also
do you
running
wanna-
low on water.
Do you want to go up onto the east side of the freight depot there with that car? And
10 feet.
Got it.
hold up there and wait for 12 to come in.
Like Pete.
That's the engine house side.
Yeah, the side we just went down.
Can't.
Remember the side we put the cordwood on?
Uh-oh.
Yes.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Can you drop a pin in there? Because I can't get it to target.
If crouch.
I've been.
Oh.
It won't target the tender.
You're fighting with the Eureka tenders.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And I can't target it to hitch them together.
Yeah, that's a issue with the Eureka tenders.
Alright. I got it if you want to try again.
Sure.
Oh, you're rolling backwards.
So,
Well,
Conductor Rudy,
trying to
do you
break.
want to tell me what's wrong with our train order?
Wait, me?
Yeah.
Hang on.
There's an oops. It's okay. We're not gonna talk about it this time. But if you can figure it out, let me know. It's not on the. It's not on the train orders aren't on the thing. And the dispatcher
Ow.
hasn't had the Form 19 training yet. So.
I cannot target the tender to get it to link.
An extra Hill Valley to Sawmill and return? I don't know.
Squig, can you get
I
that
didn't
to
make it
target? 'Cause
complete.
Well, there's making it complete. This one. Well, that's. I guess that's one.
Well,
What did I miss?
Sorry. I can get the drawbar from 8 to target. I can't get the coupler on 4 to target.
Well,
I can't couple them.
So move the engines. You may need to move the engine because it's outside of the hitbox.
There we go.
Squiggy got it.
when you have a round trip, you're going issuing to a place in return.
Uh-huh.
You don't give a direction. So it would just be extra 12.
Do you want this boxcar coupled
didn't
up to
give a
the
direction.
cord flats, or
It says extra 12 in.
No? Train order number 1, dated 5/4/22 to C&E Engine 12 at Hill Valley. Run extra Hill Valley to Sawmill and return.
Okay. Nope. Never mind. I am looking at your waybill.
Oh,
I am looking at your waybill.
yes, no,
You're
I
right, 12 in.
the waybill was for 12N.
Okay. Fair enough.
Alright. Squiggy, you want the front engine and I'll watch switches, or?
I grew up on the Form 19 as my way of dispatching. I didn't see NORAC until, God, I was 8 years into the game railroading.
Oh, wow.
Um,
Okay.
Which, as soon as I saw NORAC, and I was like, what do you mean? Like, we have a timetable. Why can't we just run? Really threw me off and upset. Like, I was very upset by it. I was also upset that, like, all of our crews are just, like, identified by the engine number. I'm like, but we have a timetable. we're train number 4. How come we're not identifying as that?
Yeah, see,
and
and I
no
learned
one
on Dorak and 4Ds and stuff, so yeah, I get it.
no one could really give me a good explanation, including the old timers who grew up, who like actually used train timetable and train order on the real rail on like the New Haven Railroad.
Oh yeah.
They couldn't explain it to me, and I'm just like, how? How could you should be able to explain this to me? This doesn't make any sense. I'm a fan of timetable and train order. I'll preach that a lot on here. I love it. I've had a lot of really bad train orders written to me, so I try to be very good about writing good ones. I had, oh god, my favorite train order, and I'm ranting a little bit because this is like my favorite. I love this bad train order story. I got a train order written to an engine that was no longer around
Oh,
and hadn't been around for about 30 years.
Typo?
Wow.
Oh yeah, off by one number.
well, there you go.
And I saw it, and the engineer read it and goes, and if I like tell you the engine number, it's gonna dox me, unfortunately.
Well, yeah.
But it was to the engine that was the reason we have the engine that we have on our railroad in New Jersey. We had Walter's engine, and it was written to the engine before Walter's engine.
Nice.
Nice.
Well, that
And
engine is still technically extant.
it exists. It's not
It's not.
accessible or runnable in any way.
Well, it does hold water. A lot of it.
It does in fact hold water. And I wanted to keep that train order. And I wanted to frame it and hang it in the engine house, but the engineer read it and goes, "Martin, are you fucking serious?" And Martin looks at his copy and goes, "Oh, damn it." And I took it from the engineer and I go, "I'm framing this," and stuffed it in my bib. And before I could stuff it in my bibs, the dispatcher ripped it out of my hands and tore it up.
Aw.
I'm like, "Ah,
Oh.
god damn it. I wanted that framed."
Great.
Yeah.
It was a running gag for a while.
Yeah, I basically learned on Form Ds and Norak, so.
We used to use a mix of that where I used to work.
Uh,
We used actual train numbers and names and stuff, but with Norak.
Well, I've used Form 19s, Ds, and track warrants.
Technically, our entire line is yard limits, so we don't.
There you go.
Yeah, we don't do
Love
anything. 9 miles of track yard limits. Love it.
That is another
Totally insular.
Yep. Well, we are connected, but
Uh,
it's
Extra
not-
12 is
not really
passing the
active.
North End Yard board at Hill Valley.
Copy that. 12, you're lined in. 13's in the hole. You're lined into departure 3. You're tacking onto a cut of hoppers.
Okay.
Now, one thing I do differently is that stuff coming off the woods branch, and that's anything going sawmill or logging camp, doesn't go into the arrival yard. If there's a train ready for it to go onto, it'll go right onto that train. It saves me switching time, and it also puts the engine for that job closer to where it gets stored, so it kind of speeds up and cuts down on moves. And when in railroading, we want to make as few moves as possible. Cause goddamn it if you want to throw that switch more than you have to.
Yeah, so.
I'll be right back.
How many moves was that on Saturday?
28.
Yeah, you
What
go.
is
Luckily, our switch is motorized.
Well,
what's going
it
on?
was 28 moves with a turntable, but still.
Someone found your whistle.
Oh, I was gonna say what the heck. Phantom engine.
Ooh. I'm stuck.
Ah, crap.
Squeaky just went AFK and I'm stuck off the train somewhere, I think. It's running through me and I can't get back on.
So, folks, in the background, I'm typing out next waybill. Just so that way everything can keep moving. Flowing along. And I'm running over here to look at what cars I have, because I forgot. Because I run my railroad off of macros on Google Sheets, and currently there's a broken field. I have to figure out what I did. So I need to figure out how many cars just came in here to dispatch out the next train.
Which track are we heading into with 12?
Arrival 3, departure 3.
Departure 3. Okay.
There is a, I think it's free model railroad program that does car, does the macros for car systems.
You Mac, you want to just give these a kick?
Yeah. Oh well, I think we're pulling them anyway.
No, you're not pulling.
Oh, we're not.
No. If you want to kick them and then head over and get water before you go out next.
Yep.
There's another job for the sawmill.
Yeah, lovely.
Are you riding those cars, Rudy, or you want me to catch them?
If you want to catch them, that's fine. I think
Okay.
BMAX also on them.
I wasn't sure who was conductor there.
We've traded a couple times.
Okay.
Give it the good old high five.
Alright, Rick, once we clear, we're gonna cut away from that boxcar and head back over to the arrival yard and grab those pipes.
Roger, I tied a breakdown on the boxcar.
Oh, sweet. And 12, you have your next train order and waybill posted.
Add the copy.
Alright, grab some water first. I think we're...
This ends in the clear. I've got a handbrake on the north car.
Alright, copy that. I'll take these the rest of the way in. Oh. Hehe. Sneaky.
That's good right there. 12.
Clear to head out onto the main.
Yeah, 13, we can head back over to the gravel yard. I'm gonna... running up towards you now.
Roger, I'm at the crossing. I'll hold here.
So if you guys out there have any questions about yards and design, drop them in those comments. Happy to answer some. We're switching the yard, and just hoping you get a good feel. 13, you're lined.
Roger.
Hoping you get a good feel about what's working here, what's not working.
I want to say that program was Java Model Railroad Interface or one of the mods or plugins for it.
Oh, Ninja Cat, thanks. Having a separate arrival and departure yard kind of just... I've yet to work on a railroad that was set up that way, but I like the concept. I like how it works where you kind of break those two up. So that way if you have a train coming in, you're not necessarily fouling up a train that's trying to get out. So I like the functionality of that. 13, you're clear ahead. So that's how I use it. Don't know if that's necessarily right or wrong. That's how I've seen it used reading various books and model railroader sources.
Well, it's certainly a valid way of doing it.
It is, and of all of the faults of this yard, the separate arrival and departure are probably the things that work the best. Because I could be in the arrival yard pulling cars off to move them over to departure, while an engine's tacking on in the departure yard and pulling out. I could have, I don't want to say doubled because I don't want to say tripled because I don't think I can triple the number of moves I can make. But I've easily more than doubled the number of moves I can make, so it's somewhere between tripled and doubled. You be the judge of what the hell that means. Well, there's a nominal increase to the number of moves I can make. There you go. That's the word of the day, nominal.
Nominal.
Oh, by the way, Train 98 is passing the north side of Mile Long Yard.
Yeah, copy that. Are you gonna take water in Hurley? At your flag stop?
Could.
Or you think you can make it to Hill Valley and take water there?
Let's see how the tender looks on number 8.
Alright, that's good there. 13. Hands in, I'm kicking off handbrakes.
Roger.
So we need 12 cars to the sawmill, huh?
Yep, they are on departure 6.
Okay.
Alright, 13, let's pull ahead. And we're going out to clear the switch.
Roger, reversing.
No, back up to clear the switch. I
No problem.
forgot when usually our engines face northbound.
Right. Yeah, because we had to re-rail this one.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
12, once you've tacked on, you're clear as far as the ready tracks. We're gonna hole up out of your way again. North of the 1-2 crossover. Leave that one that way.
You weren't taking the stave flats, were you?
No, those are staying behind.
Okay.
Trying to get these pipe cars out of the way so that way I can clear up another departure track so then I can get those two out of the way.
Right.
It's I love working the yard. I almost like doing this more than the mainline stuff. I like the puzzle of trying to put all of this together.
Alrighty.
No, I always say give me a branch or a yard any day.
Oh,
Forget main lines.
you are gonna love the new logging branch on the V2 version of this railroad.
Oh man,
Do you like 6% grades and
I do. It brings me back to my White Mountain roots.
He needs to come around
Climaxes
the
and
loop.
Heislers on the logging railroads. That's the way to go.
the Woot? We should do the Woot one night.
Mm.
That may be a good one before Spline update comes out.
Yeah, 'cause it still works, sort of.
It does. And it works
Rick.
as a client, too, which is nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Rick, I took all the industries and I moved them all into this like central circle in the middle of the map.
Oh yeah.
So there's not nearly as many cars required, and there is not nearly as much track required to get to all of them.
Mm-hmm.
I only have like 6 engines of the whole roster, so there's not a whole lot of rolling stock.
3 cars
So it
there,
seems to-
13.
Roger.
It seems to work on the client side. By the way, Extra 12 is leaving the yard.
Alright, 13 far enough, 12 you're lined out of the yard. Railroad yours.
But I basically made a giant switching layout. So there's like 3 or 4 branches on it that each serve like 3 industries.
Yep.
And I have it set up that you, instead of like spotting a car and loading it and pulling it back out.
Mhm.
You actually just spot the car and leave it there.
Oh, okay. Yep.
But it's a giant switching puzzle because everything's so tight that I had to like really fight with it to get all the tracks in where they had to go.
Right.
So, it's very much like a real railroad where it's kind of a switching puzzle to get everything where it's got to go.
It's like
Yeah, I
working an industry line.
Yeah, exactly. Whether it was trains or any of the simulators, I always liked the switching the best. It's just so much more stimulating than just setting the throttle and sitting there.
Mm-hmm. Like the long runs are fun. Don't get I love
Oh, yeah.
I love the passenger train on here. I love that nice long trip up to Ahsoken. But you know, there's something fun about it, and it's enjoyable in its own right. But getting to and it's back on. 13. You can start shoving.
Boy, that was squirrely.
Did you see that?
It's like fishtailing.
You
Train
managed to
98 is-
fishtail an engine?
No, she threw a switch under our last car on our train and it decided it was going to fishtail its way back on the rails.
It's back on. That's all that counts.
Train 98 past Curly.
Try 98 through Hurley.
Yep.
You gonna need water in Hill Valley?
I think so.
Okay.
Just gonna throw a couple more logs on the fire before we do this shove here.
Yeah, I got you line to kick us up.
Roger.
Once you kick me, you want to head up to the spawn yard.
Spawn yard. Which one's that?
You know, the yard where everything spawns in.
Oh yeah. The OG tracks, right?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Coming ahead.
So this is a busy night in one location on the railroad, which we don't usually get, and I enjoy that. So I definitely think we should do the woot. You always wind up it's very busy, which it's fun in its own right. This game has a lot for everyone, and it has a lot of that potential to do a lot of different things, which is kind of where the game excels.
The wood is the woods branch, isn't it?
No, the wood is my railroad. That's a little switching layout. All the industries removed.
That's right. I totally blanked on that.
Yeah, we haven't run that in a while. That's why I haven't posted much of anything recently because time.
Yeah, I get that. Does anyone know if the southern switch was relined for the main for the arrival yard?
Oh no, you should ask the yard master.
The yard master was drunk. I think the yard master was busy being the host of a network television show.
Yeah, and this is why the electronic devices are allowed on railroad property. Welcome to the 1890s.
Does everyone have their telegraph stowed away in their grip and off?
Yeah, there you go.
Yep. Wow. I got my telegraph key right here and the pair of wires.
So hopefully we'll be live.
Noisy is one of the stations left.
Back on to Toronto?
No.
The my railroad we are. The other one that I built.
That's a derailed caboose.
Fine.
Those cars were flown too hard into the hoppers and the caboose was jumped.
Got tired, it's fine.
Do you want the it lined up back for the departure yard or for the spawn here?
Head for spawn.
Got it.
Another good source if you're looking for back to yard conversations.
Yes.
Another good source for track maps and track diagrams would be the specific railroads historical society. Many of them do have such a group.
The other place to at least get general ideas is the Library of Congress.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes.
And their Sanborn map collection.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Those are great.
I just literally did that for somebody who was doing research on a specific industry in 1884 up in New York State. And so found him a Sanborn map from 1885 that gave him the track layout in the industry.
Huh.
So those are, I mean, some of the yard stuff is not as detailed as it could be, but at least give you a general idea of where the tracks run, and maybe they're missing one yard track or something because they couldn't draw it all on the map nicely, but at least tells you how it was laid out.
Did I just see some tankers move away?
Train 98. Oh,
Entirely possible. There's only one handbrake on that.
Yeah, it looks like the. Oh crap! It looks like the pipe cars are rolling back.
Oh yeah, those are rolling a little bit there.
Oh wait a minute! It just glitched out. That's weird.
I don't know if we mentioned it, but the Library of Congress also has the railroad valuation maps.
Yes.
98, I
map
saw you
collection, which
inside
is
your
pretty
limits
detailed,
there.
too.
You're lined into your station stop.
excellent.
Which some historical societies also have access to those valuation maps internally.
Yes.
So
Unfortunately, usually not a complete set, as we.
Mhm.
The good ones, I keep trying to find, and
Unless you're looking for the Middletown Unionville Railroad, in which case I know where those are.
oh yeah. Those came.
I love. We should get those up on a list and put them in the link tree. So I'll probably why don't you guys send me those links? I'll put them in the link tree, and then if you come for Friday's stream, you can definitely check those links out, cause they will be up by then. KCDC, sorry I had to follow you from 1 minute from clocking into work and now I'm home. Well, welcome back. We're still switching out the yard here in Hill Valley and complaining about how terrible it is. It's not terrible. It works. Just not as well as it could. And we're hoping people take some stuff away from this. 13, you can bring her ahead.
Roger.
One thing that would greatly improve the efficiency of Hill Valley Yard would be if you had the arrival and departure yards offset a little bit, and then an internal connection between the two.
That's kind of my plan for the next one.
Well, also having the main go around the outside of the yard would be great too.
Yeah,
Carol?
that's kind of my plan. I'm
Either-
gonna let 98 do
either
their
have-
thing first.
Both of them on one side, or have them, one on either side of the yard or something.
I'm gonna let 98 do their moves first here.
Yeah, Carolyn, do you suppose you could get your throttle closed? It doesn't want to.
Probably
close.
good.
Oh, okay.
Number 12.
Before
Yeah,
we
bring
leave,
it for
we
stop. Cool.
Probably, I'm gliding through this stop here.
Alright.
There we go.
All right, backing up at
Yeah.
car and a half.
Before we leave here, we should probably shove those 2 log cars in and get them spotted too.
Roger.
The pond's a little empty, and there's 2 loaded cars sitting there waiting to go in. So
Alright, 13, okay to pull.
Yeah. Quarter car 12.
Where are we going with this, Squig?
And good.
Okay, we're bringing the.
Yeah, this is going all the way down to Ashokan, isn't it?
Yep, eventually.
Right. I'm sorry to bail out, but I'm just not going to be able to keep up with this tonight, I don't think.
That's fine, we could,
That's fine. I'm probably gonna get off soon as well.
Yeah, I'm just having trouble getting my hands on here.
well, Squiggy, I'll give you a Rick and I'll keep working the yard solo if you guys just want to get the train to, Plateau.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I can stay on the train to Plateau.
Alright, your pickups are over in the storage yard, and there's an empty track
Okay.
for you to put those, freight cars.
12 ahead too.
I'm just reviewing the waybill now.
Alright, Casey is, new to Railroads Online, almost ready to haul wood logs and cordwood. Cordwood's where the money's at early on.
Half a car. Anywhere is good. 12.
Six cars to clear there, 13.
Roger, 6.
3,
3 cars.
2,
2 cars.
1 car. Half. And
Halfer.
far enough.
Roger.
Shove these guys in to the
12 ahead,
departure
half.
yard.
Quarter car 12. And that's good right there. 12.
You want to shove these down until you're just about lined up with those tank cars. I'm gonna
Yep.
help 13 out as a brakeman for a bit,
Got
or
it.
98 out as a brakeman for a bit.
Okay.
All right, 98. I got you lined. I got your storage yards tracks lined. I just gotta get the arrival yard line for you, and then you can once you clear the threat switch, you can start shoving in. Well, Casey, what I can say is when you're building your yard, make it simple, make it functional. Think about what you're going to use it for. Think about what you could use it for, and leave yourself room to grow and expand. Because there's going to be a point where you realize you're going to need to grow and expand. So be prepared for that. And I gotta throw that switch. And work with that.
Alright, well, you guys enjoy the rest of your evening.
Have a good night, Carol. Thanks for coming
See you
out.
later.
Yep,
Good
thanks so
night.
much. Have a good one.
Good night.
Thanks for the help.
Yeah, sorry I didn't stay on longer, but good talking to you.
Yee.
Yeah, it was good. Thanks for the Conrail stuff. We'll definitely get that posted in our links.
Yeah, there's some, the switch lists are interesting, so I'll send you a link if you want to put it up there.
Yeah, I'll make like an interesting link tab or something.
Cool. Alright, good night all.
All right, that's far enough, 98.
10 2.
Okay, I'll start shoving.
Cool.
Rick, once you got that stopped and tied down, you want to run over and come
One
grab
car,
onto
12.
the passenger train.
Yep.
And this is
Half car.
this is the cursed
Good.
passenger train on the railroad.
You want me to run the Heisler over or run myself over?
Run yourself over.
Okay.
12, backing up half. Good.
It's been a minute since we've run the cursed passenger train. I thought Friday was a good day to have the cursed passenger train run.
Friday the 13th would be a good day.
No, I think Friday the 6th is a good day when our special guest is on. So I think he will absolutely get a kick out of having to meet the cursed passenger train.
You should definitely give him the cursed passenger train.
Where is
No,
the handbrake on the Heisler?
there is no handbrake on the Heisler.
Oh, I guess it's just heavy enough.
I don't understand why it doesn't have a handbrake.
I wonder if that's prototypical.
I don't know. We'll find out when the new model comes out, I guess.
None of the engines at work have a handbrake, though apparently that's not that common.
No, I heard
A certain someone, former CMO, did not like
I
handbrake.
heard JDC removed handbrakes.
Well, wheel chocks are good enough. Half car. Or in the case when you're putting the tender back on a locomotive, air brakes and then a bunch of sticks of plywood or sticks of 2x4.
Yep.
Oh god. Half a car. Good. If you've never seen it done, it's quite interesting. When you do the annual servicing on a steam locomotive, you pull the tender off. When you go to put it back on, there's a giant spring pack that goes between the engine and tender, and that spring pack has to be compressed in order for you to pin the drawbar in.
3 cars there, 98.
3 cars.
Problem. Engine does not have handbrakes.
You can stop it anywhere you'd like. You're inside. You're in the clear.
Stopping.
So you take an external source of air and apply it to the air reservoir and set the air brakes, the independent brake on the locomotive.
You're cutaway 98.
And you take another locomotive, hook it up to the tender, and you shove.
So last time I had to do that, we didn't have an air source nearby, so we took a chain fall. And we stood very much not in far enough 98. Okay to bring it back forward to a hook. We stood very much not outside of the foul and chain felled our tender slowly ahead.
Oof.
With the CMO shoving a 2x4 under to slow it down. Like, shove it under the wheel, rip it out, shove it under the wheel, rip it out.
Oh, that sounds like fun. I had 12.
We actually started it by hand because it was chalked on a little bit of a downgrade, so we rolled it as far as we could by hand. And then we had the chain fall it the rest of the way. And chain falling it while also lifting up the drawbar was a lot of fun.
Yes. 1 car. 12.
I'm gonna be AFK for a few minutes. I'll be right back.
Yeah. 98, 1 car.
12.
1 car.
Half car 98.
Half car.
Quarter car 12.
Truck 98.
Truck length.
Pins in 98.
Alright.
We went over this in our train movements
That's good there.
lecture, but we do use engine numbers, train numbers as identifiers to make it easier to know who's doing what on the railroads, so that we know who's talking to who.
Well, that reminds me, we were gonna top off with water here at Hill Valley.
Oh, where's convenient source of water here?
Build new water tank.
I think you can make it to plateau since you're going to tie down there.
Yeah.
Just spot the engines underneath the tank there.
Yep.
Plus this one has a blip in the bottom, and I think you'll make it to there, no problem. What does 4 have? 4 has way more than 8. You still got like a quarter tank.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so I don't know where Rick is, but once he comes back, you guys are clear to depart.
Sounds good.
Casey, thanks for the invite, but we are not joining viewer servers just yet. Maybe down the road we'll come on and play with viewers, but not quite yet. That's going to be a little bit ways down the road. But thank you for the invite. Always much appreciated.
Wait till we're super famous to do that.
Yeah, we need to be like as famous as Heist in order for us to do that.
Mhm.
Which, by the
And
way,
nothing.
since we're getting closer to 10 o'clock here, and 10 o'clock's our wrap-up time this evening, that may or may not be our special guest on Friday, so do come out for that. And we can bug Heist about all the things we want in the game. I'm kidding, please don't do that. It's far enough, 98. You can start shoving back.
Alright, 12. We're loaded up. Take us to Hill Valley.
Alright, it's on my bell, but I think we left that in the yard.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, it's on the departure track.
Perfect.
Oh, you want me to get that?
Yeah, we gotta shove those two. We gotta switch the lock cars around a little bit before we leave.
Oh, right.
We're up against the bumper on this sense. We have to drill them out and put those two somewhere they can get loaded.
Eh.
Or, I mean, we can also leave for the next crew too, which is fine.
Yeah, you can shove too.
I mean, there's only like half a car there, but sure.
I'm making a joke reference to a local freight railroad, which may or may not have shoved like 6 cars in where only 4 cars fit.
Susquehanna?
Oh dear.
Nope.
Oh. Nah, Heist, I subscribed on YouTube. Yeah, we're gonna have Heist on Friday, but we're not asking Railroads Online's questions. We're having him on to teach us about double heading and tell us about his experiences running and firing 20 over Croombrace Pass this past September. So that's gonna be a fun time. I've never double headed before. I've always missed it every time my railroad does it. 'Cause the cool people, the full timers usually the ones who get to do it, and I'm part time now, so they always get to have the double heading fun. I don't. So Heist is gonna come out and teach me about double heading and teach you guys about double heading. So I am super excited for that. We're gonna be taking a nice hefty train up to the coal mine, and it's gonna be a good time.
Ooh, are we doing a rear train helper?
No, we're doing a head end helper.
Oh, so we could show people why that curve has its name.
Caboose length there, 98,
Caboose length.
and pins in.
Hinton.
There's a curve called BMX Point, I think.
Yep,
BMX curve.
BMAC point.
Yeah,
We actually widened the curve after that.
fair enough.
All right, Rick, this is your new train.
Oh,
All right, 12. Clear ahead.
all right.
If you want to hop up in the second engine and help out Squiggy.
Yep.
Those aren't tied down.
Yeah, they are.
Okay.
There's handbrakes in the first two. It'll stop eventually.
Hey, who wants money?
All right. Ooh, I want money.
Wait, Rick, do you have any money in the game here?
I think so. Like 2,500 maybe.
Don't go in F mode, okay?
Okay.
You just pull the full string out, cut over a bunch of the empties, and then shove it back in.
Yep. Okay, 12. You can back her up.
Also, is train 98 clear to depart?
Yeah, train 98, you are clear to depart when ready.
Alrighty, we're departing now.
I'm going to make my life easier so that way I don't need to get 2 cabooses because this one's derailed over here. I'm just going to put that where I need it. And that's called switching.
Oh, is there a passing track where we can leave these cars?
Right next to where they were.
Oh no, I mean like pull them out of here and shove them, like leave them up closer to the logging camp.
No, unfortunately.
Just keep pulling.
Yep.
Ah, ghost bell.
If you could give me 3 more, 4 more, 4 cars to a stop.
Alright, back to switching out the yard here.
2 cars, 12. The last car. Half car. And good. Switches line down the into the whatever that I'm not sure what that track's called. Down towards the sawmill here. You can give us a shove.
You're lattice lined over probably the firewood depot there?
Yep.
Perfect.
Then
All
give
right.
us a kick.
Oh, kicking them?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Don't get too excited, Rudy.
Cars moving on their own.
And it's good.
Yes.
12 you can shut off. Get enough to get past.
So we're going to be working a lot out of my storage yard right now, and that's kind of the place that I needed to dump cars that weren't being used. Were going to need to be used
Switch
shortly.
line. Shove ahead. Clear as far as the eye can see.
My throttle is out all the way. Is your throttle all the way out, 98?
Oh, there's no bumper on this track.
Yep.
Oh crap.
No, actually, hold on. It's 91 here. Hard to get a grip on it.
Oh, you
Yeah.
can go back into
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
if you look at your P menu, you should have more money and
Oh,
XP.
sweet. Very cool. Thank you.
But yeah, I needed a quick and dirty place to store cars, so I have a car storage yard. I don't love it. Probably gonna do something different in the V2 version. My plan's kind of to have arrival and departure fan off of a single switch together. Maybe. I don't know. I'm still working out. I want to stagger them so that way they're not both being used at the same time and have the
And stop
main
right there.
and have two
Oh.
mains run around them off to one side, so that way the whole yard's still usable, and even if you're drilling out on one main and using it as a drill track, there's still another main that stuff can come in and out onto, and you can get between the two yards. Hopefully I'll have something to show after Friday the 13th about that. I'm really hoping to do some more yard stuff. I know that's a hot topic on the Railroads Online Discord. Plus, yard design is challenging. I
Wow.
think
Sorry. Physics bottleneck 8 2 logs.
cool. Did they taste
Yeah.
good?
Not particularly.
No, that's disappointing.
Mostly like log, not really a beaver.
Hmm.
Beavers, however, not good for railroads.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say don't taste good.
Oh no, I've never had beaver.
Oh, nope,
Um,
I'm stuck inside a boxcar. I am unstuck from a boxcar. Where's that handbrake?
But no, they like to build water retention structures, and if those structures happen to be co-located with a railroad, they can cause problems.
I see the issue there.
Yes.
I think it's just I had 2 cars there with handbrakes. I think that was it.
Roger. Yep. And brakes are off. You can shove us back to Hill Valley.
Okay, off we go.
Switches are aligned. So what happens is the beaver, they say you have a beaver decides to build a dam under a culvert. It will build it there, and the water level will start to rise. And if that culvert happens to be going underneath the railroad causeway, and the ground is just fill dirt that was put in 100 years ago, what happens is the water level rises on one side of it, it's lower on the other side, and the water starts to seep through the dirt, and it liquefies the soil.
I fail to see the problem here.
Yeah, and then you end up with no soil under track.
Is this why we don't run to the? Is this why we're never gonna
Yes.
run to the town that we don't talk about?
Well, no, it's not that it's never going to go there. It's just that that's why we're not doing it currently.
Aha.
Something beavers.
Damn
There's,
Canadian.
so there's actually a percentage of beavers that don't actually build like a hut out in the middle of the water. They'll actually dig into the bank And
Oh.
we found some of those at work.
Ooh.
They had started digging into the right of way. They were good. They're good, like 3 feet off the end of the ties. But they had like a beaver house like collapse. It's sandy soil, and sandy soil does not support being undermined very well.
Roll
So we had to
slowest
build
check.
back in.
Rick, you may want to check your fire.
Yeah, they could use a little fuel. It's at boiler pressure's still at 130, but
Yeah, I pulled a Casey.
oh yeah.
Thanks.
Well, you can pull a. One of Heiss's maintenance away crew do that a lot. They actually have a ticker for the.
I believe it's
Fire
the Pharmatherma fire routes,
Oh, yep.
which if you do type roller coaster as 2 words in the Railroads Online official, it will ping Pharmatherma.
You can
You
ask
use-
him about his fire's going out.
You use that at your own discretion.
Yeah. I won't tell you to do it. I'm not going to also not tell you not to do it.
Yeah, I don't want to get in trouble, but if you have a reason to type roller coaster, you have a reason to type roller coaster. Like on the roller coaster grade of the railroad, where it's very undulating. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Oh, yeah, this is my little storage yard. Little 4-track, 6 cars each. It's coming more handy than I ever thought it would. But I'm not a huge fan of it. I feel like it's very disconnected from everything else, and it could be better constructed. Have no fear, we'll eventually construct a well laid out yard, and eventually we'll do a schmelter op, and you could see how well Hill Valley Yard functions. Or not Hill Valley, Plateau Yard functions.
Mhm.
Plateau does work rather well, especially with the disconnected main. That's one thing I'm going to say. You're building your yard, and I probably already said this once earlier, but don't have your main bisect your yard. Have it be its own thing that kind of goes around it. No reason you can't have a through track running through the center of your yard, but definitely give yourself another track that runs around the perimeter as your main line, so that way you have options for moving your trains. That's the biggest killer here in Hill Valley.
Yeah, it's hard to maneuver in that yard when you got trains like 98. That's got to stop and make a set out a pickup or something.
Mm-hmm.
To have to maneuver through the whole yard multiple times, it's kind of annoying.
Yeah, and it kills you because then you can't use your caboose track at all.
Mhm.
Yeah, the yard worked better when there wasn't a passenger train on the railroad. I'll give it that. Cause you also weren't really tying up the main line ever. There were no through trains. 98 is now finally a through train. And largely the coal mine turn is a through train because those cars come in, and then basically go right back out for the ironworks. I don't know why I don't make that a through train. The more I think about it. But
12's at the yard.
copy that 12. You're clear into the yard. You're lined into departure 4 into a caboose. Please hitch into it and not pop it off the tracks.
Yeah, it's a Roger. Don't smash the hack. We may not be lined for departure 4. 12, bring it to a stop. As soon as you can.
Oh yeah, no, you are not lined for departure 4. I thought I got that switch.
And I'm now inside of a car. Woohoo! 12, ahead.
Oops.
Well, that will happen.
You know, when you're trying to be yardmaster, engineer, conductor, brakeman, it kind of all gets away from you.
Yeah, and monologuing.
And monologuing. You know,
Right.
we make fun of Nick for having a hard time switching out the Conrail secondary map when he's doing his live streams, because he's monologuing and running an engine at the same time and switching and trying to figure out the most complicated model railroad in the world. But you know, it's hard. It's hard to do it. I appreciate when
Just get right there.
when he's here to be my foil and talk while I need to focus on a move.
All right, 12. Back it up. Are the rest of the switches lined?
Yeah.
Okay. And that, folks, is why we operate at restricted speed in the yard.
And for those of you watching at home, Quizlet time, what is your restricted speed? You can type !tree and brings you to our link tree where you can look at the AM&W rulebook and find out what restricted speed is. First person in gets 100.
The other railroad I worked for gave me a hat.
I don't have a hat for you, sorry.
Seriously, though, the rules class, if you once you had 6.28 memorized, you get a hat.
Yeah, that's something at the railroad I volunteer at, is that whenever we pass a rules test, we get a hat.
All right, what's the standard code rule?
'94.
It was back here somewhere, isn't there?
Yeah, it's all the way up.
Are we hooking on to a bunch of other lumber cars
What
that are
the
on the ground?
No?
Then I guess we were not lined up for.
No, you were not. The fuck, I threw that switch.
Also, there's a car on the ground over here. Would you like me to...
That car may not actually be on the ground. Unless you just
Oh.
derailed it.
Nope, switch is lined against it.
Oh, you shoved into a derailed car?
Nope. We're
Huh?
5 cars from from hitting it. There's like... Yeah, I'll leave it for you.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be coming up that track.
Okay.
So it's Rule 94 in the AM&W rulebook. At Ninja Cat, restricted speed is the speed achieved when the throttle is restricted to being only 100% open and nothing less.
Oh, it's not 94 in the standard code, though.
Oh, is my standard code book different than your standard code book?
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's interesting. It comes after yard limits. But my standard code's based off the 1963 book. It's actually a Penn Central standard code book. So it could be a Penn Central. It could be that was a modification they made to their book. They rearranged some rules. Oh, let's see. My drive. Talking about my drive. Doo-doo.
Train 98 is approaching Plateau Yard.
'98 approaching Plateau Yard.
2 cars, 12.
Yeah, I'm working on it. I gotta shove 13 out of the way first.
Roger.
Am I not clear enough?
Correct. It's okay, I'll keep pushing. It's fine. You didn't notice he bumped you like 3 car lengths there.
No, I was looking at my rulebook.
You're right around there, right, BMIC?
Yep, good there.
First, yeah.
So for those of you at home, unfortunately no one's winning a hat, even though we don't have hats, so I don't know why you guys just promised that. But Rule 94, restricted speed, where conditions require movement at restricted speed, equipment shall be operated so as to permit stopping in 1/2 the range of vision short of other railroad equipment, obstructions, switches, not properly aligned, and derails set in the derailing position, looking out for broken rails, misaligned track, and at a speed not exceeding 10 miles per hour. So basically, as fast as you can go in the game is restricted speed. Moral of the story. Uh, 12, I'm chasing your tail up here.
Roger.
We are getting close to wrap up time here, folks. Do tune in Friday to see Heist. That's going to be a lot of fun. We'll be putting it out on all the social medias. We'll be announcing it on his. There'll be a reminder out on his Discord server as well. So if you're on there, look out for a notification about it when we go live. It's going to be a fun time. It's going to be
3.
educational time. So keep an eye out for it. We're going to have a blast. And we're hoping to do a lot more things with the devs as the game progresses with different types of classes by them. You know, who knows? Maybe we'll get Armagon in to do some history lessons as new engines roll out into the game. I think that'd be pretty cool. But, you know, we'll see what happens. So do tune in. It's going to be a great time. And any last minute questions, throw those in the chat here. We'll answer them. If you're watching this replay on the YouTubes, drop a comment in there. We'll get back to you. Send us an email through Linktree because we have an email on Linktree. So if you still use email, you can find us there as well. But there's many ways to reach us. We're on Facebook, also you can find through our Linktree or in the link in our bio. So follow us on Facebook for updates there as well. Yeah. Well, thank you all so much for watching. This was a workshop in yards and their effectiveness. And I see the problem you're talking about, BMAC. It appears my cut car is rolled away. Well, thank you all so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed everything tonight, and we hope to see you on Friday with Heist. Have a good night, everyone.